Today's video is the Game Week 17 team selection, and in this video I'm going to run through my team, what transfers I'm making, who am I going to give the captain's armband to, and what formation and what players I'm playing for this week. And yes, I would usually do a watch list video as well, but I haven't got time for that, so I thought I'd go to team selection. I prefer to do that video as well as easier to make, arguably. But yeah, anyway, enough of the waffling. Let's get straight into my team. I've gone with Guaita. So I went with Guaita over Sat because Palace play Southampton, whereas Wolves play Brighton. And in my opinion, Brighton are a better team than Southampton, so I thought I'd go with Guaita in goal. But Brighton don't score too many goals, and Wolves have a better defence than Palace. So it was a tricky one there, but I thought Guaita's playing Southampton. Palace have been in decent form recently. They're brilliant at home, like they've got a great atmosphere in that. I couldn't resist but to go Guaita in goal. And my three defenders are Matty Cash, Reece James and Kostas Tsimikas. So I've got no choice but to play all three. I'm pretty happy with them as long as they all play. Kostas Tsimikas, get a run out. Because Cancelo, he's suspended. And Ben Johnson on my bench, he's injured. So I can't play either of those. So I'm stuck with those three. But Matty Cash plays Norwich away. So I don't know. It should be a relatively easy win for Villa. Yes, Norwich have played a lot better under Dean Smith than they did under Daniel Farke. But come on. Norwich are the whipping boys in the league. They literally don't get too many points here or there. They don't score too many goals. And Villa have been in brilliant form recently. Yes, they've lost 2 matches and then won 2 matches in their last 4. So they haven't had the perfect record. But the 2 teams they lost to were the teams who are first and second in the league. And Gerrard's also come in and sort of like, he's done great in the games I've watched. Like, he played well against Leicester. They got the 3 points. Played well against Palace. They got the 3 points. They also didn't play too badly against Liverpool neither. And City, I don't know about that, but he's doing quite well at Villa. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with having Matty Cash in my team. And Reece James, on the other hand, I'm not so happy about. Yes, he is a quality player. He's been one of the best fullbacks in the league this season, but he's got 0 points in his last 2 matches. 0 points. For a lad at the start of the season who was getting 18 points, 13 points, 21 points, 12 points, to get 0 points in your last 2 is a pretty poor do. And they were against Leeds and West Ham. Like, they're both decent sides, but they're not exactly the 2 top teams in the league. So that was really annoying right there. No attacking returns, and they conceded 5 goals in the 2 matches. So not great there, but he plays Everton, and Everton are a pretty poor team. Like, they don't play well at all. They've won like 1 match in their last 10. So maybe he will get a return this weekend. Yes, I don't want them to do well because I'm a Liverpool fan and I don't want Chelsea to do well. But if they can lose, but also Reece James get me a load of fantasy points, that would be brilliant. And then my final defender in my team is Kostas Tsimikas. So he hasn't played a lot recently. He played a match in the Champions League, but I have a funny feeling he may get a run out against Newcastle because Robertson's obviously played on Saturday. So maybe they're going to say, let's play to Tsimikas on Thursday, keep him fresh against Newcastle. Then we'll play Robertson against Tottenham, and then we'll play to Tsimikas in the Cup, and then Robertson against Leeds. But then on the other hand, they might go, let's play Robertson in these next 2, then give him a rest and play to Tsimikas in the FA Cup. Or League Cup, and then play Robertson against Leeds again. So who knows? So Tsimikas might get no minutes in the next 3 or 4 Premier League matches, but please, can you get 1 today? Because my bench is weak, and I've been playing with 10 players literally for like the last several game weeks. But yeah, that is my defence right there. Let's move on to the midfield. So the first player in my midfield is a new recruit, and he goes by the name of Bernardo Silva. So he's arguably been the 2nd best player in the league this season, behind Mo Salah. He's been absolutely brilliant, and he's been in brilliant form recently. He's got an astonishing 31 points in his last 3 matches. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, they were against Watford, Wolves, Villa. They're not the top teams in the league, but nonetheless, brilliant in that Man City side. He plays Leeds next, then he has Newcastle, then Leicester, then Brentford. So 3 out of those 4 fixtures are completely winnable games for City. I expect him to play pretty much all of them because he got a rest against Leipzig the other week. So he went and played 90 minutes on the weekend. And I think Pep will probably play him for at least 70, 80 this week because he got the rest the other week. So it's not like he's playing continuous games all the time. So yeah, he should play for the next several matches. And even if he doesn't start, I expect him to come off the bench. He is a quality player. And yeah, he's my new addition into my team. And I've taken out Son. And I wasn't really thinking, well, I didn't really want to do this, but I thought Bernardo Silva's in quality form. Also, I wanted to make a move in the attack that I wouldn't have been able to do because I didn't have the funds if I didn't bring in Bernardo Silva, if that makes sense. But yeah, anyway, enough of the waffle then, let's move on to the next player. So the next player is Conor Gallagher, and this man is simply fantastic. The lad is absolutely brilliant. This season, he has got 4 double-digit hauls for a Palace player. Absolutely brilliant. 6 goals, 4 assists in the league. Superb. And he was absolutely brilliant against Everton. And he sort of somewhat saved my game week. Because I was having a poor game week. I only finished on 50 points in the end. But this lad was brilliant. I watched the match. 2 goals, runs round ragged all match. All he does is press, press, press. He makes tackles. He's a hard-working player, and boy, can the lad finish. He's one of the most complete youngsters in English football, and it's a shame he plays for the team in London who wears blue. It's a shame he doesn't play for Liverpool Merseyside, because Klopp would love him. He runs around all game, and he can finish and dribble and do loads of great things. But yeah, he's still in my team this week. Plays Southampton. They are one of the greatest teams in the league, so maybe, hopefully, he can get me some more points in that match. And now the next player in my team is probably been the best player in the league this season. I don't really think there's much of the a debate so far. He literally returns every single week. Hopefully he can do that again against Newcastle at home, a team who came off a beating against Leicester. So yeah, they're not in the best of form, and you would expect Liverpool to win. But it's the Premier League. Anything can happen. Liverpool may lose. Who knows? But I'm sticking the armband on him this week because he's been in brilliant form recently. And on paper, that's like a brilliant fixture for Liverpool and Salah. And now the next player on my team goes by the name of Rafinha. So this lad is another brilliant player. I was thinking, do I bring him out? Do I bring him out? Well, glad I kept him in. In his last 3 game weeks, he's got me 20 points. He's been doing absolutely brilliantly. He always pops up with a goal or an assist because he's on set pieces and stuff. He scored penalties. He is a brilliant asset, and I'm keeping him in again this week, despite the fact he plays Man City. So he's got some tricky fixtures coming up. He plays Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa in the next 4, which is quite tough. And I may take him out next week. Who knows? But I've got priority transfers to make, so I haven't taken him out already. And like I've said, I've done all right having him in. But I may bring him Bowen soon. Who knows? But yeah, I'm going to keep him in for the moment, and hopefully he can return against City this weekend, because Cancelo's on the bench. Also, I'm a Liverpool fan, if I haven't said for the 10th billionth time in my videos. I don't want them to win. So yeah, hopefully he can get me a lot of points this weekend. And now the final player on my team seems to he had a bit of a knock, so he didn't play much against Newcastle. He came on, I watched the highlights because I was at work, couldn't watch the match, and he could have scored a goal. Why didn't you score that goal, Jota? I would have got me more fantasy points, better goal difference to Liverpool, but you didn't. But nonetheless, I do expect you to play this week against Newcastle. Get yourself back in that rhythm, because you haven't played much in the last 2 matches. Maybe get on the score sheet as well, because you didn't score against the Wolves. You haven't really played much football in the last 2 matches, so hopefully you can do well against Newcastle this week. And yeah, Firmino's still out at the moment, I think. Origi, I don't know, there's something to do with him, so I expect him to start. And maybe they can take him off around the 70th minute mark if he's not fully fit, if Liverpool are winning, which hopefully they are. And now, yeah, that's my midfield done. As you can see, 1 change with Bernardo Silva in, and now we move on to the attack, where I have made 1 more change. So the 2 players in my attack go by the name of Joshua King and Cristiano Ronaldo. And you're probably thinking, didn't you bring in Ronaldo last week and you said you made 2 transfers? Well, I didn't. I kept with Vardy because I thought he plays Newcastle. There's no point taking a -4. He'd probably score against Newcastle. Well, guess what? No. He didn't even play any minutes. He played 0 minutes, had no player to come off my bench, and what made it worse was Leicester scored 4 goals and Ronaldo went and scored against Norwich. So I was like, but no, this week I'm bringing in Ronaldo. Can't resist him any longer. Obviously, I'm a Liverpool fan, so I don't want Man United to do well. But if he can get me a goal or 2 here and there, I'll be very happy with that. Get me some points for my fantasy team. And the final player, like I've said, in my team is Joshua King. So last week I was thinking, who do I bring in? Dennis or King? Dennis or King? Dennis or King? Dennis or King? And what did I do? I went with King. Sorry, I was just thinking that sounds like dinosaur. Dennis or King? Dennis or King? Dinosaur King? But yeah, anyway, yeah, I brought in King. Really annoying. Really annoying because Dennis goes and scores. But I'm going to stick with King. He's got a couple of decent fixtures coming up where hopefully he can profit and get me some fancy points. And then on my bench, I got Sa, I got injured Ben Johnson, and Lacardi who never plays, and Cancelo who's suspended. So hopefully all of those 11 players can play. That'd be brilliant because there's no depth on the bench. We are on the... we literally got no depth on the bench. But yeah, if you have any questions about my team or about your team, put them in the comment section as usual. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.